If control was given over to you to change the world, and you were giving ultimate power, omnipotent power over mankind, should I say over the system, not over people as individuals, but if you were able to organize and fix the system, and you had that ability, what would you do? And the reason that came to mind is because I hear a lot more people talk about what's wrong than how to fix it. And I don't have the answers to how to fix the system, but the more I try, or the more I look into it, I find that we tend to overlook some of the things that work in the system. I'm talking about the way we conduct business in this world. And when a powerful few can take such advantage of the masses like they do, it reflects on us as a whole. So we start to see mankind as greedy, as selfish. So people get angry about that. And they want change. They want people to change. And that's the ultimate. The ultimate end game is that people want others to see things their way. And not everybody will admit that or really think it through, but the more I realize that I don't have the answers, the more I try to encourage independent thinking. And there are a lot of folks out there who might make a video, and if you don't believe what they say, then you're an idiot or a moron. And I'm hoping to get past that as a society. And so if I had control, I wouldn't know what to do. You know, if I were able to change the system, I wouldn't have the first idea how to do it. And this is why we put in public servants into office to do these things, because we don't want to deal with it. And I know I've heard a lot of people say that that we don't need a government, and that we should abolish government. And I don't think that that's well thought through, because every society in history has had a government, whether it be the medicine man who tells you when to plant or what plants to take for certain ailments, or whether it be a king. Every civilization has had some sort of a leader, and there are smaller tribal groups that are the exception to the rule. But generally there's a father figure, someone who you can come to when you have a question. So we can't abolish government. We have to change it. And we have to change it so it works for everyone. So what do we do? And what would we do? I mean, it's such a stupid question, I know, but it's really one that needs to be addressed. Because for everyone who has a complaint about everything that's wrong, I would expect them to have a resolution as to how to improve that. And after listening to countless hours and days of various philosophers, speakers, radio shows, you know, I listen to anything I can to try to expand my awareness of not current events, because that's not what interests me. What interests me is the root of the current events, or what the root cause is. For example, I'm not interested in which wars we're fighting as much as I am in abolishing war in general. I'm not as interested in the details of the conspiracy that people may be involved in as to how to get the people out that are causing these problems. So, you know, Maxwell Eigen, when I listen to him, I've noticed that he tends to get stuck, like I do, on the same subjects. And not just him, but many people who make videos, say like I do. I mean, I've made about 700 videos. I don't even know how I got that many. You know, just speak my mind a couple times a day, and you know, they build up. You know, I can go back through my videos and see that I've had many different subjects, but in general, it always comes back to the same basis, the same idea of tolerance, love, acceptance, and becoming what our true nature determines as normal for us. There's going to be disputes, there's going to be conflict, there's always going to be fighting, but it doesn't have to be the way of life. We don't have to be so wrapped up in defending ourselves against invisible enemies. When the terrorist attack of 2001, on September 11th, quote, terrorist attack, even at the time when it happened, I had reservations. At that time, I was about, I think, 20? No, 25. And it really hit home, you know. Look, we're being invaded, we're being attacked. But at the same time, you know, within the same day, I was already processing, what is this for? You know, what's the real root reason of this? And is there something deeper? Is there a conspiracy here? Is this a false flag? All the ideas that run through a person's mind, we get so convinced that we have the answers that we forget to keep looking. And there are two types of people in the sense of those seeking. There are those who say that they already have the answers and that those who are searching are just fools, and that they're wasting their time because they'll eventually come back to A, B, or C God or belief system. And there are those who information is never enough. I'm one of those people. It doesn't matter how much information I have on a subject, I have to keep pressing and digging deeper and deeper. And besides my average videos of random, just, you know, humans and how do we get along, and I do a lot of really deep, particular research on subjects, and I keep that separate from my channel because I don't want to invite all the chaos and animosity that comes with declaring that you know something. So by leaving videos open-ended, I can say this is what I think, and you're welcome to think for yourself. And by doing that, I've seen how different approaches to different subjects can bring animosity. Oh. Hey, squirrel. What's up, buddy? Can bring animosity, or it can bring goodwill. And I think that, you know, when I'm in my daily life, going to work, coming home, I have all these ideas in my head about how great things could be, or try to see positive in every situation so I make my life as good as it possibly can be. And I think I've finally found a happy medium to where I'm not ignoring the issues at hand, but I'm not letting them consume me as well. It is a balance, and I'm learning to balance my emotions as well. You know, there seems to be the idea that anger is unhealthy, and that's been pushed a lot in society, and I don't agree at all. I at one time thought that I could overcome anger, that I could conquer those feelings that come with hearing somebody say a certain thing, or a loved one say something, or someone picking at you for something you know is true, or whatever it may be, or just being angry at life in general. I've learned to conquer the anger that is useless, but there still is useful anger. It is an emotion, and we are emotional beings. So what do we do if we had ultimate control and we were able to change the system? There was nothing we could really do to the current paradigm that would make it work the way it needs to work. We have to change as individuals and come together over anything that we can agree on. You know, not everybody supports everything. You know, for example, there's the trucker strike. You know, I looked into that, and supposedly they were Facebook closed their page and they had like 86,000 likes, and people really want to show that truckers are important. The truckers supposedly are calling for a general strike next month. So I looked into it. I wanted to know exactly why they were doing it. And they said that they want to show the government that they're corrupt, to prove that, to show that they are needed, that the system could collapse. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't really see enough of an organization. This is kind of like the same thing that happened with the Occupy Wall Street. It was a great intention, but there were there's too much division among why they were there. Everyone had their own reasons. They're angry about everything, the whole system. But when you can't put your finger on it, you just get stuck repeating and repeating and repeating, and nobody listens. So the reason I mentioned the trucker strike is because I see that there's people who see it from both sides. People who see, show the government, that we're needed, that we're not just slaves. But I also see the other side where they say, hey, you're slowing down the economy. You'll be hurting individuals, people, merchants, us, you and I. I don't have an opinion on it. I'm just using it as an example for how people can have two strongly different opinions on something, yet both have the same intent in mind, which is to make society better. So two sides of the coin might be working towards the same end game, the same result, but they don't even realize it. They're too busy fighting over what they don't agree with to realize, oh, so we both want harmony in this facet of life, whatever it may be. So if I were in control, I would hand it right back over, because I have no idea what to do to change this. And the reason why I address this issue is because I see so many people so angry and pointing fingers all the time, and I understand it. I totally do. It's hard to just change yourself and your own little environment while there's so much going on in the world. And if we ignore the issues in the world, then we'll continue to get trampled on. So all I can say to my, I guess, would be each person to really, really get involved in things that are important and what's important to you. But if someone else is interested in something else, don't bash them for it. If they're on another totally different chapter of life, remember that you may be there someday, or you may have been there at one time. One person might be fighting to abolish nuclear energy, and another person's fighting to stop hunger, and each person has a little part we play. So when we're fighting for a cause is when we're our most vulnerable, because the word fight is in itself should not be there. There's nothing to fight. You can't fight the system. You can just choose to not partake in it. The small steps that we make as individuals. Don't buy into it. And you can't just completely leave the system either. You can't just tell a cop, no, I don't have to listen to you because I don't agree to the laws in the society, and then you go to jail over it. And you have to think about it reasonably, but do stand up for yourself and make yourself heard. So, namaste.